Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and I haven't done a process video in quite a long time here on YouTube. Last month I decided to do all my videos on Reels because I was doing 30 days of Reels, so go check that out on Instagram if you haven't yet. But this month I'm jumping into ByTheWell4God's The Big Picture Devotional, and I'm actually starting with the last day of the devotional, journaling, on day 14. Now, I know I've said this before, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll read through the whole devotional once through and then kind of pick and choose what days I want to journal in my Bible. And today was one of those days. So today we're talking about the book of Revelation because in the big picture, we're talking about the whole story of the Bible, Genesis to Revelation. And in Revelation, we see John is seeing a vision of Jesus. And he says, when I saw him, I fell at his feet as though dead. And so there's a really cute little journaling card of this little gnome. And so that's kind of what sparked the creativity of this page. And I also added the rest of the verse, which says, but he laid his right hand on me, saying, fear not, I am the first and the last. So anyways, what I've done here is made kind of an ombre look with candied apple, worn lipstick, and tattered rose. And then I just sprayed some water and, made this background look a little bit more interesting. I will also add one of the stencils that ByTheWell4God had as an add-on this month, the snowflake kind of stencil. But here I am adding a little bit of ledger paper. You know me, I can't do much without a vintage little note in there. And so this is some ledger paper from 1899 and 1898 on the other side. So I will just use that as kind of a grounding piece of my cluster. Now, I do want to make sure that this journaling card stands out because it is the focal point of this whole page. And so I grab some paper from the paper pack and just make a slight edge about 1/4 of an inch around. And I will prop this journaling card up on some foam tape. But before that, I will add my Snowfall grit paste. Now, this is a seasonal grit paste from Tim Holtz. It dries clear with a slight shimmer, but I want to add some more. So I grab my clear rock candy glitter. I don't use this glitter often, but it is a beautiful glitter for Christmas time. And so I always tend to have it on hand during this season. I also want to add some of that Snowfall grit paste to my background. And so I grabbed that snowstorm stencil that was an add-on to this kit and make a fun little flurry in the background. Now, I do wish, hindsight bias, that I did use maybe one of the opaque grit paste with some glitter on top because this does dry clear. You can still see it in the background, but I just wish it was more pop of a texture kind of, because since it does dry clear, it just kind of melds into the background a little bit more than I was hoping. So anyways, we're going to start gluing stuff down. I am distressing edges because I can't do much without distressing edges, and I will start layering everything together. However, as I start doing this, I realize that I really want some more texture on this page. And so I decide to grab some embroidery floss in this tattered rose kind of color. And I'm just going to make 3 small X's on the side of this library card. This library card doesn't have much on it. It's basically just a layering piece and to house my date stamp. So that will add something extra and fun to the side of this. And now we're going to glue that down and add my journaling card. Now, I don't show it, but I do use my scrapbook.com foam tape. I like the wider ones because then I can cover the most amount of space for the cheapest price, but I also can cut it down. I felt like I was still missing something, and so I grabbed one of these little scrap pieces from Tim Holtz. They are the Curator line of the little snippets, and so that felt like it went well with the color scheme. I also add some Glossy Accents. But here comes the next day. I decided that I needed something else. I was struggling here with this page, and so I decided to leave it be, mostly because the sunlight on my desk isn't good at night. And I decided to add the rest of that verse as I showed you before on that little label. I did that and it didn't take my video, so I'm sorry I don't have the video of that, but I basically just fed that through my typewriter and added the little tool that was wrapped up, or the package was wrapped in from ByTheWell4God. I also have these little berry looking papers that I die cut. I die cutted them out of the paper pack again, and I just added a little bit of dimension with some of the Daniel Smith watercolor paints. And now this feels like it's coming together. I really needed to break out of that rectangle, and so this really helps by adding some movement around the page besides just having so much blockiness. Since everything is glued down and has been glued down overnight, I do have to use my scissors to just kind of prop up areas to tuck those pieces into, but as long as you do it gently and carefully, it usually doesn't ruin anything. So that's what I've done here. I'm just cutting them down and tucking them in different spots, and then this page will be done. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. I'll try to link everything I use down below in the description, and I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.